2025 is almost done, and I think it will be appropriate for us to speak about the best free-to-play heroes for every single troop type, right? Because I see how complicated it can be for a free-to-play players to understand where they are going to put their legendary tokens, because heroes are quite a lot already after 3 years of Call of Dragons gameplay. And plus, well, legendary tokens are not the frequent friend for us from the events. That's why deciding where you're gonna put your legendary tokens is one of the most mandatory things which you need to understand, especially at the start of the game. So let's start by one by troop types. So first will be, I don't know, infantry, cavalry, marksman, magic, and overall, right? As I'm an archer player, I played archer since the day one, almost 3 years. I'm gonna start with archers, right? And yeah, what makes a hero free-to-play friendly, best free-to-play hero, how you can acquire them, how easy it is to upgrade him, and so on, right? So let's say we just start the game, we have two choices, right? We have Inara and we have Nico, right? After the upgrade, Nico got even better, but still. So my idea is that Kinara, if you like Kinara debuff control style of gameplay, you're gonna go for Kinara. If you want to have some more damage, not a lot more damage, but a little bit more damage, you're gonna go for Nico. But the long story short, you won't gonna be making a mistake if you are going to awaken Kinara or if you are going to awaken Nico. But if we are speaking about best free-to-play hero for archer players, of course, we are going to speak about Zyda, right? Zyda is the best free-to-play hero in the game currently. And, well, of course, Zyda is G3 hero. That's why it's important for you to watch this kind of videos, because you will understand what's coming to the game. So why Zyda, right? Zyda is a PvP hero, which means from the lucky spins with maybe like maximum 10k gems, you will be able to unlock her, which is great for free-to-play players, right? Because, for example, Magrat, which is the best hero pair for Zyda, Magrat is gettable from the Strongest Lords or Wheel of Destiny, which basically is not free-to-play friendly events, right? Because from the Wheel of Destiny you will be able to spin only 20 times, and Strongest Lord generally you kinda have to get lucky, so pay-to-play players won't gonna spend too much money on that event, and somehow you're gonna acquire Magrat. Basically, I acquired Magrat by finishing Strongest Lord in 25th place, which is basically really lucky, right? So if we are speaking about the best free-to-play hero for the archer players, there is like two choices. There is Zyda, and the newest hero which archer players got is Ruby, right? And I got asked many times, is Ruby good, is Ruby amazing, or is it bad, right? I would say Ruby is in the same tier as Magrat, Zyda, and Magrat and Zyda, right? Which have been the best hero pair for archers since they came out, right? I remember people were speaking they are G3 hero pair, but they feel like they are G10, right? And I'm really thankful that they finally made a hero which will be at least on the same tier as Magrat and Zyda in terms of merits, right? Yeah, Ruby is a PvP hero, Ruby is gettable from the lucky spins, same story as Zyda, right? And best hero pair for Ruby is Kylan, but Kylan is gettable from the Strongest Lord and Wheel of Destiny, which never makes hero free-to-play friendly, right? So if I had to make a decision which hero or heroes are best free-to-play heroes for archer players, I would say Zyda and I would say Ruby, right? This is the two choices, right? That's why at the start of the video I mentioned Kinara and Nico, because they are gold key heroes and you kinda have to upgrade them, right? Because Nico and Kinara is a basic heroes and Zyda is G3, for example, and Ruby is G5. So you already know the pattern, right? Like basic heroes amazing for free-to-play players, and after that you are going to wait for Zyda and you're gonna awaken Zyda as fast as possible, right? And then you're gonna try your best to somehow unlock Magrat. Unfortunately, not so free-to-play hero, but then we know that after 1 year, basically, Ruby comes out and Ruby will be at least same tier as Zyda, right? So Zaida and Ruby, the best archer heroes for the free-to-play players, simply because it's way easier for the free-to-play players to unlock them, add levels, and in the end, of course, awaken them, right? So yeah, that's totally from my own gameplay. That's how I look at the archer heroes in general, right? I'm not saying other heroes are bad, but if we are speaking about the best, we have to speak about Zaida and Ruby, right? Magrat is amazing, but Magrat is not free-to-play friendly. I already mentioned why, right? So yeah, that's basically for the archers, and I would be more than glad to change topic in terms of cavalry, right? And in cavalry we have some surprises. For some players it might be surprising, but not for me, right? Of course, when you start the game you have two choices. So this is Emrys, this is Bakshi, right? Basically, Emrys and Bakshi is still one of the best hero pairs in the game. But since we have to choose at least one from these, I would say Emrys. Basic hero, gettable from the gold chest, from the lucky spins. Basically, it will be super easy for you to actually awaken Emrys if you are going to be cavalry player, right? And it's also a big plus for Emrys that Emrys is a basic hero. We don't see a G1 or G2 token here, which means gold his hero. Every single skill is available for the open field PvP, gettable from the lucky spin. So if you are going to awaken Emrys throughout these 3 years, you won't gonna say it was a bad decision. That's my honest opinion, right? But as in archers, we're gonna speak about more heroes, because in every generation, every single troop type is getting more and more heroes, right? So Emrys is one choice. For the best free-to-play hero, we have, of course, second choice, which is Urag, right? Urag, well, basically, Urag deals most damage. Urag and Obin is one of the best cavalry hero pair in the game, right? Why I choose Urag and not Obin? Yet again, Urag is Lucky Spin's hero, Urag is PvP hero. Every single skill of the Urag is great for open field PvP. There is no rally skills, there is no garrison skills, and plus we have PvP and skill talent tree, right? And skill talent tree is basically full damage. And of course, for cavalry players, they always like to deal a lot of damage, but also march speed is really important. So yeah, basically, we have Emrys here, we have Urag, and we have one disclaimer, Neya. Neya is basically like a glass cannon, in my opinion, because, like, for example, when I target cavalry players, I always target Neya because she is the one who doesn't have a lot of survivability. You're basically gonna deal a lot of damage, but if you are going to get targeted, basically Neya will be the first cavalry hero which is going to get destroyed, right? That's why I can't really put Neya as the best free-to-play hero, even though she's gettable from the lucky spins. That's why I think here also we have two choices. For early game, we have Emrys and Bakshi. Bakshi and Emrys will be your number one choice for cavalry hero pair, but we're gonna speak about heroes in particular, right? So for the first year or so, Emrys will be your number one choice. Then we're gonna have to wait like archers when we waited for Zaida into G3 heroes, and Urag will come out, and you will have to be saved some legendary tokens, and whenever Urag will be available, you are going to awaken this hero. And trust me, Urag is going to give you absolutely amazing amount of merits, right? So same as archers, if archers had Zaida and Ruby, we are getting Emrys and Urag as the best free-to-play heroes for cavalry players, right? And of course, we are expecting G5 heroes for cavalry. Let's see how good they will be. And in other note, we can easily move towards infantry, one of the strongest troop type in the game, right? For infantry, there is something different for infantry, right? We don't have like super flashy, super amazing basic heroes, but you kinda have to put some tokens on maybe Garwood, for example, right? Plus Garwood is a free-to-play hero in terms of gold kits, right? But if we are speaking about the best free-to-play heroes for infantry players, unfortunately we have to wait for a G2, which is Season 2 kinda, right? And Skogul is actually one of the best heroes for infantry players till this day, right? And, well, it's a well-known fact that Goresh and Skogul have been the best hero pair
for infantry players from the G2 since they came out in the game. And yeah, that's why, since Goresh is for a strongest lord and Wheel of Destiny, Skogul is available from the Lucky Spins, right? And every single skill is available and great for open field PvP. Plus, I'm pretty sure Cavalry players are also using Skogul, but since we are speaking about infantry, my advice would be go for Skogul, right? Awaken Skogul, try to get Goresh somehow, you kinda have to get lucky. But if we are speaking about the best free-to-play heroes for infantry, my idea is that it's Skogul and it's Kuma, right? Skogul is nice, but Kuma is just different beast. Kuma has a totally different kind of gameplay to Skogul. You kinda have to be attacking somebody as a Kuma because you want to life drain your opponents. So basically Kuma, one more Lucky Spins hero, already G4, which means, well, you will have a lot of time after Skogul and Goresh to save up your legendary tokens. So you will be ready when Kuma and Lake 1 will be available for your gameplay. But since we are not speaking about the heroes, which are basically more for pay-to-play players because of the strongest lord and Wheel of Destiny, we are going for a PvP heroes, right? That's the highest value which free-to-play players can get by awakening this type of heroes. So, for infantry, best free-to-play heroes, in my opinion, is Skogul and Kuma, right? Both of the heroes will be available from the Lucky Spins, which means you're just gonna save some gems and you're gonna unlock those heroes. On this note, I'm gonna move towards mages, right? And for mages, well, mages have been waiting for their best hero for a while, but as always, mages have one basic hero which is amazing, and I would say if free-to-play players are going to awaken Welin throughout your Call of Dragons gameplay, you are going to use this hero, right? This is one of the best mage heroes, kinda same idea as Kinara, right? Because if you are mage player, you kinda have to start focusing on mages, and one of the best available options from the first couple of carry case will be Welin, right? Because I'm pretty sure if you are a free-to-play player, it won't gonna happen soon that you're gonna awaken legendary heroes, right? Because for me, I spent 1 year to awaken Kinara, so 1 year is pretty big time, right? So Welin, my opinion, for the free-to-play players, one of the best heroes. And next one, unfortunately for mage players, next best free-to-play hero came out just now, G4 hero, which is Youngming, right? Youngming is basically the best mage hero in the game, getting highest amount of merits, gettable from the Lucky Spins, a skill talent tree, every single skill is usable in open field, no rage, basically get Youngming, awaken, go in open field, then you're gonna deal huge amount of damage, you're gonna get huge amount of merits, right? So I guess mages are kinda weaker in terms of heroes for the free-to-play players, in my opinion. That's why go for Welin, awaken Welin, use Welin with basically almost every single hero in the game for mages, and then you're gonna have some free time to save your legendary tokens and awaken Youngming as soon as Youngming will be available for your current season, right? And yep, that's basically enough, right? That's basically enough. 2 heroes per troop type will be great for the free-to-play players to know why they are best, right? Highest damage for Youngming, and for Welin, one of the most versatile mage hero till this day, which is also hero from the gold chest. And yeah, you might say, well, you spoke about marksman, cavalry, infantry, mages. We of course gonna speak about overall heroes, right? And for overall heroes, there is like couple of choices which one should be the best free-to-play hero. I would say Thea, right? Thea is the best free-to-play hero for overall troop type players. I know some players are basically using them most of the time than any other troop type. Why not Musyang? In order for you to acquire Musyang, you can't be free-to-play, right? That's why Thea, gettable from the gold chest, one of the most used heroes in the game, and I believe for overall section, Thea is the best free-to-play hero.
in the end, I wanted to speak about what makes heroes best for free-to-play players. It will be easier for you to unlock them, and plus it will be easier for you to actually awaken them, right? In my opinion, for free-to-play players to unlock and awaken heroes, unfortunately, you kinda have to spend gems, and whenever you are spending gems for unlocking heroes, that's what makes this free-to-play friendly, right? Because in Wheel of Destiny, you need to spend some funds to get more spins. In Strongest Lord, you have to spend some money in order to get more points, or kinda get super lucky to get at least 25th place, right? That's why this is my idea what makes a hero best free-to-play hero, and this is how I have been playing this game for 3 years, basically almost 1000 days, right? 980 days, and yeah, almost every single KVK I'm a fighter. I have been fighting since the day one, and of course I will keep fighting because that's the only way I'm having fun in this game, right? Like farming is not that great of the gameplay. So basically, I hope after watching this video, you will guys think about your investment in your heroes, and you will think about what makes this hero so good and why I should invest your legendary tokens, because those legendary tokens are not that easy to get, right? Hopefully, this video will be helpful for you. If it was, as always, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really, really soon. Bye bye and good luck.